Live. I'm just out here twiddling my thumb a bit. Had a few things to make some errands. Had to restock up on some screws. I'm going to wash the tires right now. I'll wait for a few more people to come in. Um, like I said, it's always open. You guys are more than welcome to ask questions, business. But like I said, I'll start talking about. I got a spring pad. It might be off a little bit. They need to come out with a bracket. Maybe somebody knows a bracket. Knows about a bracket. It's commercial. It's in the thumbnail. Check it out. Beautiful night in the neighborhood. That is a beautiful night in the neighborhood. Sounds like tomorrow we're gonna get some rain. You guys will have to let me know if you're kind of like me. I kind of spot wash weird like that. It seems like every time I wash, it's gonna rain. It never fails. Absolutely never fails. Maybe I'll give you a little different view. Rusty, I thought maybe something happened to you. I haven't seen you or heard from you. Hey, supposedly I heard you got some pretty cool racks that you made out of these that Clopay gave you. Send me some pictures. What you got going? Everybody's saying like, I think Papa Tony was saying he had some pretty cool ones. My accountant Rusty's gonna be mad because I did a no-no today. Did a job, doubled it. That was it. We're gonna see. I don't think they're gonna bite. I'll be there in just a second. He's got one last rim to polish up, you know? One more shoe. Throw a little splash on it, you know? It's one of those things, kind of weird. Kind of one of those fanatics about like, I don't like bugs on my windshield, you know what I mean? So it's like, you know how it is. You just can't do the windshield, you just gotta do the darn car. One thing leads to another. One second, please. So I think what it is that I looked at the shop drawing the spring pad for the builder should have moved it over. It's behind all that white stuff in that thumbnail. If anybody knows that that's stuff called in commercial buildings, that white stuff, put it in the comments. Probably should rinse out the tray. There. Little drippy drips. Of course, this thing's all sandy. I promise, I'll be there in a minute. Right, I'm typically getting better. I normally keep a first aid, and I always keep paper towels. Because boy, oh boy, I'll tell you what, if you got kids, they always make a mess. Always. And paper towel works. It serves two purposes, obviously. If you got to clean your bum, you know, out in the field or something goofy or out in the woods, I'm all over the place. I can always out in the woods. All over this place, Michigan. Sand out here. Is my accountant yelling at me in there? You did what? You doubled it. How could you? Payroll. Electric bill. Get another phone call. I should check it. Old buddy, I think he just wants. Who knows? It's got to be garage door related, right? All right. I think we're looking pretty good. Grab my bubbly, my water, H2O. Oh, one thing too, what I found out works really good. If you're traveling around in the vehicle, you know, obviously you can bring a snack or something. It doesn't work so good. They don't close. But get yourself a little cooler. This thing tips over all the time. Put it in the cooler. Bam. Solve that. Propane tanks. You know, if you have a propane tank, just put it in a little crate. There we go. There's that. Throw that. I'll grab you guys. Everybody had a spectacular Monday. Does everybody have a spectacular Monday? I mean, I know it's Tuesday, but stay busy. We did the long distance loser day. So actually a really good day though. Did all vertical. Ew, it's so sandy. Oh, somebody just got shot. But what was it? Sorry, the camera's a little. Got a cup in one hand. And, holding a bunch of garage door guys in the other hand. It was a good day. Did the vertical track. Cap was so nice to generously offer another help for tomorrow, but it's kind of weird. Like, you ever have those jobs that like they, I don't know. It just, we have to stab in. There's no dock plates in there, so they got boards across it, which are pretty nice for safety, but you don't dare drive on them. What's up? What question are you asking? Well, I'm surprised somebody doesn't make it. But what I was thinking, maybe I can show you. Gotta carry around the umbilical cord here. Son of a biscuit. Because the power will die otherwise. But what I was thinking we need. Where are you at? Where are you at? Now this is going to be a little bit off, right? But kind of gets the idea. So what I was thinking though, if they made this where they scooped in both sides, made them wider, that'd work out perfect. You know, like a plate between, because I got a big old chunk of red steel there. And my problem is, if you look at the thumbnail, I think when the spring grows, it's going to run into the drum. I sure hope not. I tried to squeeze it as far as I could, and then I asked for the shop drawing, which we've already, of course, you know how that goes. We already gave it to the builder, and they just put them up the center, which I don't know. It's kind of one of those things, like, whose fault is it, right? Is it Wayne Dalton should have just gave us two springs, which would have been super nice. So they gave us really one long spring, which really stinks. So I'm not sure how I'm gonna extend that, like, over if I have to, because it's all, if you look at the thumbnail, it's all covered. That's obviously a bunch of hogwash. I have thought about commercial angle. We do have some out there, and maybe that's God showing me. That's why we left it there, because I was looking at it today. I was like, why do we got all this commercial angle? I was like, well, I didn't know what my drops are going to be and stuff. And I thought, well, maybe it's going to get chewed up doing that. Oh, Rusty says, I'm a long distance loser today. Man, good. I don't feel so bad. You know, I think, what is it, 50 some miles. Seems like all of an hour and a half to 2 hours, it feels like. There was a little bit, luckily the traffic wasn't too bad. We ran into a little bit construction. Oh, construction's everywhere. I'm so sick of construction. Photos, they said cable. Took changeover parts, and ooh, it was cable. Oh, the cable on the opener / Chamberlain. Oh man, I don't mess with those things. I don't know about you, Rusty. I changed that whole system out. You know, if you gotta find one, I don't know where a good spot to even buy them anymore, because I'm always worried they change it a little bit. I just remember I tried like swedging one back together, and the tolerance of it is so tight on them. Like, I think what I did is I put a chunk of cable in there, thinking I was going to be a smart ankle. Oh, I got this. I'll put a chunk of cable in there. Well, it's like where it wraps around the pulley. It was like, oh, this ain't going to work. Like, it turned into a nightmare. I was just like, this is so stupid. I was like, I will never do this again. It's just going to be replace the opener, or they got to get a whole new chain assembly. But I thought, I'm only going to do that for like a grandparent, because I'm not dealing with this crap. Mr. Is it producer? Hello, welcome. What's to say, how long have you been working in law enforcement? I never did law enforcement. Just the old business. Rusty, can't use your cable maker and chain link to need to open our cable. We do it all the time. So what are you doing? You're just extending the cable, or not the cable, but the chain. Maybe that'll work. You know, if you did it like master links. I don't think I had it on the truck that day or something with me, or I wasn't thinking that. I know I was so invested into it. I was so angry. I was just like, this is stupid. It's like, I should have never got myself into this. And then it was like I was committed. Oh, the front pulley's broken too. Oh man. I remember a long time ago I smashed one I didn't have the stopper, and I was programming it, doing something, and the J-arm got away from me. You know, it went up front, I smashed it, and I'm like, fudge. You know, luckily it was still like partially there, so it didn't, but like, you know how like you're watching it, and you keep running it, and you're like, is it gonna make it? It's gonna make it. Nope, nope, yeah, nope, yeah, yep, it's gonna make it. Yep, it's gonna make it. We'll just, you know what, we'll just document this one, and if they call back, it's free of charge. We'll take care of it for them, and but it might make it for the rest of their lives. I don't know. Replacing the rail, chain trolley with a lift master. There you go. It's not a bad idea. It's a good idea. What's he got? Tanner says, son of a gun. Yeah, he says we order those white ones from Denko. Our service spring. So we have those and belt drive ones. Okay, on our trucks. I seen one the other day. Guy got smaller pulley, like the extension. That's interesting. I don't think we deal with too many of those pulleys. You know, it's the only time it seems like we have problems. Like when we're first install them, we smash them. If you don't put up the tabs, that's always my first thing, right? You always put up the tab. You put the bolt in the back. It's like standard protocol. You know. That way it hits that. Genies, I don't think really have a stop. I know I've smashed the trolley unit into the Genies quite a bit, the head unit, and I know you can mess the circuit board up pretty good if you do that. So it's always more like I'm always watching the trolley programming versus the door. You know, I'm like, okay, and then it's like back and forth, door, trolley, door, trolley, door, trolley. Because if you just watch the door and you got that J-arm too long or whatever's going on, and then it's like the red light of death. Spring pulleys and mount on the Chamberlain opener. Awesome. Actually, they should just make them metal. Spring pulleys, huh? Kind of like for like extension springs. Look at Rich on here. Rich B's guy. He says, always use 2 springs. Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure we could have ordered them that way. It's just like, for dock doors, these springs are massive. Like, as soon as I picked them up, I was like, this was going to be a problem. And we got them up there, and I was like, this is not good. I was like, you know. So I turned the bracket even. You know, normally I'd flare it out so it's easy to get to. I turned it. I was like, that might get me that extra inch. We ended up mounting everything. I figure I'm gonna bring the I'm gonna try out the old spring turner on those. That way Mr. Caleb can get some experience on it as well. But I don't know what I'm gonna do. I mean, it seems like there should be a simpler fix to make it bump over. I really didn't want to like span, you know, like a piece of angle, you know, from one red steel, because they were nice enough, you know, they turned up the walls this side, so it's like it's really wide. It's not on the edge. It's like I don't know what the red steel is. It was 6 or 8 inches wide, so there's plenty of meat. But so I could, you know, I might be able to run angle over to there, but that's pretty big chunks, and it just looks kind of, you know. And I thought, gosh, if I just had a plate, you know, something that was strong, and these aren't real big doors, so you don't have to deal with like a lot of, you know, spring action. Rich got rid of that. See, I was kind of looking at it too. Tony's in the house. You got a nice head, yeah? Haven't lost none yet. Just a lot of grays. Always use 2 springs. Michigan summer crop orange cones. That's a good one. That's a good one. Man, it's like I kept telling everybody, I'm like, I don't know if I should be mad or happy. You know what I mean? I don't think I've ever seen this much construction going on in a certain concentrated area. Like I said, it's super hard to get across town. And then even GR, you know, Grand Rapids is they got their stuff going on too. So it's like, holy moly, it's just like constant. Like you're just sitting there meditating which way to go on back roads and stuff. Tony, what'd you do today? What'd you have going on? Get some doors installed, fix some customers' doors up. I don't know what was on the old. Oh, I can't. I'm on the phone, as I say, see what the agenda holds. Oh, the double one. So this is one that's for a job I've been trying to, land for God, who knows how long, I don't know, either like 10 or 12 years now. And so I didn't really want to put a lot, like I said, I normally don't deal with a lot of the pricing and stuff like that. And, when I do, I really kind of back and forth on them, check them out. I mean, we're at the same job. So, the money's fine. But what do you say? Oh, so I needed a couple. So that's what I was talking about the other day about the openers. And wow, you guys got your hands full. Things have changed a lot. I didn't realize, like LiftMaster, I could not find a 2 light belt drive unit. So Home Depot had the best option. So I still might even do a Home Depot. It's almost like you might buy a Home Depot opener and put a LiftMaster rail on it, a T rail, because I really didn't want to put this one just doesn't really feel like a good candidate for the tube. So, but basically just, what? It was kind of like we put some time into it. It was like, what? Let's just double it and let's just be done with this. Let's just get this out of our life. So that's kind of what we did on that one, because we've definitely seen a little bit of blowback with the whole, doubling and adding labor. So it's easy. It's close. We'll see. This guy's, how do I say it? Like I said, it's been 12 years. I've been trying to sell him. You know what I mean? It's like, you need garage doors, dude. And so now he says he wants to do it. But like I said, multi-million-dollar house. He installed his own openers. It's just, I don't know. It's just goofy. Sometimes I just don't have much hope, and that kind of stuff. But you got to swing, right? I was telling Mr. Kelvis, sometimes you just, person that swings the most will hit the most balls, but if you don't ever swing. So we'll see how it goes. It doesn't really matter to me. It's just kind of, but when you're sitting there, it brings back a lot of the memories, because there's a lot of back and forth, with the wife and stuff, and then certain products. And then you're like, when I looked at LiftMaster, and I'm like, this thing sucks. I was like, I don't see what I want. And I think Chase was commenting about they're coming out with a new line. They're coming out with some more basic units. Thank goodness. So we'll see. Librito, it says, hi, hello, how are you doing? See, we got 4 likes too. Thank you guys for hitting like. Like I said, I don't know how long I'll be on here. I'm just kind of killing a few moments. I had to reload we burned up a ton. Has anybody else experienced this? I was telling Mr. Caleb this today. He was up there just groaning. He did an awesome job today. He worked his hiney off. But those big self tappers for metal, right? The big thick ones, that years ago, that never was a problem. It was never a problem. And then it's like they changed on you. You know what I mean? I think the ones we get from Wayne Dalton are absolute garbage. I think we've gotten some through Service Spring, and they've changed also. They don't work as good. It's like the tip or something, just not the same. And then I thought they were buying some from Action Industries or something like that. And those ones are okay. They're working. They're a tad bit longer, which is not really a problem. It's kind of nice for us because we can tell. But man, if anybody's got a good recommendation for some good self-tappers for commercial, holy moly. I mean, I'll show you in case you're kind of going, I don't quite know, because everybody's got different language, It's like when I talk about, we call them lags, for that going wood. And we call them big self-tappers. We got medium size. We got long. These ones look like they're the better ones, right? They're just the bigger self-tappers. And then you got your long ones. So that one's skinnier. Self-tapper. Glare's not helping out much. Then we got our smalls, right? And then we have what we call them our pointies. The pointies. Lots of pointies. And then we also have our legs, and we carry both. We carry the standard leg for wood, and then we also have our longer legs, which work out good for sometimes with drywall situations. But man, I tell you what, those stinking screws, they just don't work like they used to. I I told him I could tell, he had to go through two layers with like the gusset was and that. I just told him, I said, let me get you a drill, dude. I said, you are killing yourself up there just groaning. But, whew, man, those screws have changed. One doctor. Ooh, so doctor, everything good? Check out. Eric's, what's up, Mr. Eric? Hope you're doing good. How's the baby? Do I advertise on the internet? Not really. We just really do like the normal Google. We're probably going to be looking for some ideas. Like I said, really haven't. Cap, he ended up getting a couple of the guys one of the guys really should he needs some shirts, so he got some shirts coming for him. No big deal, just more professionalism kind of stuff like that, not so much advertising. But got some shirts, some hats. I think he got a few for me because I'm running a little bit on the low side, and a couple other guys are running good though. That's right. Tony says, you ever driving a tractor yet? Rusty says, are you doing the install for the multi-million-dollar house? I probably will if it goes through. We'll see. Just because obviously it's it's kind of one of those like my customer type thing, and I don't know how to explain it. I'm surprised. I'm assuming he's looking for a deal in a sense. I think he's probably. I could be wrong. I think the customer has shopped around, is my guess, and they're a little bit shell shocked, maybe not. We'll see. You know what I mean? Just see how it goes. All I can do is just swing. But I think it's always funny to me. It's like sometimes it's crazy how and like I said, this is just me, and this is many years. It's amazing how much time you spend. You know what I mean? So it's just amazing. Like when you got to sit there and you got to put the numbers, and then you got to put the numbers in the computer, and then you got to put it. And it's not like the end of the world, but it's like when you're trying to find a product, like it really brings back the memories of, I go, holy crap. I go, this takes a lot of time. You know what I mean? Like sitting here putting all this together and what product and how, and then it's like, you're going back and forth. It's like, well, how many remotes? And it's like only 2, right? And it's like, oh, it's like do 4 remotes. I know you really don't need it. Do 2 keypads. You got to get the color. Then it was, I seen something in the quote. I said, are you sure this has 5 sections? And it was like, well, I don't know. Let me check. And then it wasn't for sure. So we're just going to leave that out. And I said, you know what? I said, see, I'm always like, I don't know about some of you guys, but I'm always like a numbers guy. Let's just get the damn numbers out. You know what I mean? Let's just get the numbers out. Let's see if we're going to play ball. You know what I mean? If we're going to play ball, then we'll fine tune. Now, not that you should skip things, but like obviously the door sections, unless the customer comes back and asks. Right now it's just numbers. It's just numbers. So I don't put a lot of times. It's just numbers. Like if they're like, hey, the numbers look good. Let's what do we need to do? And then it's like, all right, let's start. Hey, we're going to do a 5 section, which it's not going to matter because I mean, obviously it costs a little bit more, but I mean, maybe Rich. Do we have Rich? Did Rich jump in here? Rich is here, right? Yeah, Rich B. I don't know if they're going to be, if it's an 8 section, they're going to automatically come a 5 section, or they're going to be a 4 section, but for 8 foot tall. So we'll see. We did some brown doors, and it might turn into, how it is, slicey dicey, which I think we're covered on that. It might be like, let's just do house and let's not do barn, type of thing. So I don't know. It's like I said, it's just numbers. I always tell the secretary, she gets mad at me, and I'm always like, it's just numbers, get numbers out. I don't want to think about this. Just get the numbers out. Do, 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 do. Tanner says, not yet. Maybe next year. In the parade, she's only a little over a year. Rides the summer for sure. Nice. How about Lanier? I just don't know about Lanier. I don't mind Lanier. Like I'm okay with Lanier on 7 foot tall doors, but like you ever get like I said, I'm a little weird. So I feel like things in life I feel like things in life have energy and things talk to me. Is that weird? Like when you're going down a road, you're like, I really don't know where the hell I'm going. And it's like you see a car pop out, you're like, I'm turning there. God just gave me a sign. And so and it normally leads you, like it's like a 50-50, but normally you'll get in the right direction. But like this job, I just go, oh, it's because for one, there's already two lift masters. And the thing is, I could tell by the customer, right? Like, it's weird. Like in business, it seems like it's more psychology sometimes than it is like business. Like when I've been with guys working and stuff like that, and they're like, oh man, like they'll, I've been with guys before and they're like complaining about the job and it's like about digging holes or something. And it's like, I just want to grab the damn shovel. Give me the damn shovel. You know, digging holes is easy. Digging holes is the fun part. You know what I mean? Like, you don't understand. I had to quote this job. I had to bid this job. I had to meet with the customer. We had to do a seal bid. We had to get a bond. We had to get more insurance. The material, the guy shows up and he's like, where's the forklift? And I'm like, I don't got one. And he's like, oh man, and the dude's working his hiney off trying to help me get the material off the truck. Like all these variables. And, and then you get people, like I said, it's hard because they can come out, right? And they come out, maybe they're just, some grunt workers or whatever it is. And they come out and it's like they, oh man, say something, and it's just like, it just like takes you over the top. But anyways, like the customer said, LiftMaster, he believed that those ones didn't have to be changed. So, we're gonna go with that. That's psychology of him already saying those ones are good. I believe, like I'm open to your opinion, but I believe those ones are good. So we got to stick with LiftMaster. And then I can also use it as like, well, they've changed a little bit. They've upgraded, So, that's why these ones have this or that. And these ones don't program or this or that. But if I go off the deep end and go like Genie, Lanier, it's going to be like, well, obviously, this one's a Ford and this one's a Chevy. Obviously, it's not going to work. Where I can, I got more grace. Like I said, psychology. It's all psychology sometimes. Certain batches of big sulfur are better than others. Didn't know that. I wouldn't doubt it. I don't know for sure. Like I said, maybe somebody comes across it. I'm assuming. I've never seen anything online that says this, but I'm assuming even like in red steel and steel in general, there's harder spots. Like the I don't know what they call it. Would it be like the iron or But like red steel can be like, you can be like, drill right in. You're like, that wasn't too bad. And you get to another spot and you're just, you're like, what the hell? Like this thing is just so hard. It's like a brick. So I don't know if it's hot because it's hot rolled or cold rolled, but it's like when you see metal, how it's got like some spots are real hot and some are cold and stuff when they're coming out and they're beaming red. I'm assuming there's different carbon and stuff in certain spots that make it harder in some spots than others. That's just my theory. Never been 100% sure of that, but I assume. Tony Tanner, he says, they just grow up so quick, just like weeds, man. They grow like weeds. I pre-drill with long quarter drill bit, short depending on the track. Call them the big dogs. That's the big self drilling screws. Little dogs for smaller ones. Nice. That's pretty cool. I like that. Coarser thread. As it says, tappers. Look at two. Oh, look into White Cap, huh? Supply for those screws. Is that where you get them, Rich? I mean, is that where you test them out? I said, I thought we did. I think it's Action is where they were starting to get them because we were just, I mean, we were just dying with them. You know, there's nothing worse than being up in a lift in a hot summer day and you're just sitting there, and it's like, you know how like you knew back in the day. That was one of the like, that was always kind of one of those catalysts. And I was kind of explaining that to Mr. Caleb today. That I said, you know, I said this is one of those things that like you kind of get kicked in the nuts. I said where it's like they like things are changing behind the scenes. Like I've explained before, kind of like the lawn boy, right? The lawn boy lawnmower. We had one. We used it to death. I mean, the thing just smoked all the time, but that thing ran, man. We just ran her to the ground, and then we went and bought another lawn boy, not realizing that they got bought out. That it was not the same lawn boy. It was not the same quality. It was nothing but a pile of junk. And so it's like these things. That stuff irritates me. That stuff behind the scenes is because you know it's not like they're gonna come out and say, "Hey, we've actually made a crappier product for you. Enjoy." Instead, it's like, "Oh no, we've saved a half a penny per pound or whatever," and they won't ever know. They're just drilling them into garage door sections. The Wayne Dalton one's really thin. Nobody will ever know. It's paper thin, you know. And it's like you're out there in the field and you're like, man, what's going on? What changed? Why isn't this thing screwing like it normally has? That happened years ago, you know what I mean? And then it's like, it just all went, it seemed like it happened, I think first maybe with like Wayne Dalton, or maybe it was Service Spring, because we used to buy everything, those from the Service Spring. And then we just started having problems after problems. And then I think we bought them from Action. They've been better, but there's nothing that's like, dude, these are the cats meow, you know? Usually, with a set of tappers, I'm going to the big ones. I use small one first. Yeah, we don't, I mean, I guess you could, but red steel, you know, like I know when I do garage door sections and stuff like that, like I like big tappers is like my last resort. That's when it's been, you know, the section's been banged up, and you know you gotta you know, that's my last resort because that's all you got. Next thing is you're gonna drill through it and do a carriage bolt, right? So you know, it's like, oh man, the big self tapper is my last. You know how it is. You run that thing in and out a few times, and it's gonna start, you know, and spins, and you're like, oh crap, here we go. That hinge ain't gonna work worth a crap. And I know it doesn't help because you know, you speed them up. So I was trying to explain to like Caleb today. I said, hey man, I said it's more, you know, and I know he's not as chunky as I am. And I said, it's more about, you know, lower speed. And I said, sometimes more pressure, you know, and I know that was something that was always hard for me. I learned it from a tool room guy one time, watching him drill, you know, steel. And he was the one that taught me that. So I was trying to explain that sometimes just sitting there, just full tilt is not, you know, doing you any good. But he ended up using my whole case of screws. And so I was like, he's like, we should probably restock those for tomorrow. And I'm like, yeah, we probably should. How many brand door link? And then it'll be, there's 4 of them. A couple like 18 by 8s. One's a 16 by 8, 16 by 8, 18 by 8, 9 by 8. And then I think another 9 by 8 or 10 by 8, somewhere in there, 2 of those. 15-inch radius, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I'm sure it is. Starting up days. Ooh, well, that's a great question. Thanks for asking. You know, maybe some of the guys want to kind of comment, you know, on some of that too a little bit. But for me, you know, for me it was just like, you just got to get out there. You know what I mean? You just got to, like, every day you have to just constantly think, how do I make baby money? How do I get customers? I mean, just wearing shirts, going out in public, putting up signs, putting business cards, try to, you know, go out of the norm, right? Go to your lumber yards. You know, maybe you normally go to Home Depot to buy lumber or something, right? And that's just not, you know, go to the lumber yard and buy something. They see you or ask, you know, questions. For me, I was very determined. So I actually went into a lot of businesses and I just walk in. I walk in, I'd shake hands, I'd tell them, I'd look them right in the eyes. And I tell them, I say, I'd love to do, service for you. I'd love to do, like, I think that still is very true to this day. I'm sure we have all experienced this. You go around and you know how it is. It's just the snot nosed kids that don't care, and they're like, yeah, just put your keys right there for service on a car or oil change. Like there's no passion anymore. You know what I mean? So you can stand out from the crowd. Like when I tell customers, I'd say, I really, I tell them, I say, I'd really like to do this job. You know what I mean? And that I think that means more from the heart. Like I would really like to do this. Now it's tough because when you're starting out, if you're just staying small in a sense, then it's fine because you're the business owner and you're going to be the one out there and you're going to make sure you do a fantastic job. But when you start adding employees and stuff, well, things can have a little bit of turn of events, and you gotta kind of train them and teach them, and there's all kinds of effects into that stuff. But you just got to be passionate. Just got to keep hustling every day. I mean, every day, like, you just have to sacrifice. That's what I did. I mean, it wasn't, sitting at the bonfire drinking with my friends. It wasn't, partying every night or every other night. It was just hustle, 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 hustle. Take every phone call, have that phone. You just snag that phone. You know what I mean? Hi, this is Dave with Affordable Door and Gate. How can I help you? And well, I got this, and not a problem. I could come out probably within, really? Papa Tony does it all the time. He's sitting around, he don't care. He just goes, man, which is the right thing. I mean, if you want to get the money, collect the money, you got to go. You know what I mean? You can't have that mindset, where you just kind of go, well, it's really a Saturday. I shouldn't work a Saturday. I'm just going to sit here and watch TV. I mean, right? I shouldn't, no, you go, you know what I mean? If you're available, obviously, then go chase that money. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of social media. You can build hype, post stuff, social media, next door, Facebook. You guys are all better probably at Twitter and X and whatever else. Hey, happy customer today, whatever. Hey, would love to service. Try a free service. I've thought about that for Mr. Caleb, about trying just to see about just, hey, we'll do a free lube and inspection, right? And it's just weird because it's like society. I think there's energy in the universe that detects that you're emitting, that you're trying, and you'll be surprised that you'll do a job that's for free, and all of a sudden you get 2 service calls, and you're like, what the hell am I doing here doing a free service call? Like, I got 2 jobs. You know what I mean? But it's like, if you don't go do that free job, it won't come to you. If that kind of makes sense. But like, if you're out there, you can, I see Rich just sent me some. You can, you can like, the neighbor might come over, they come over for coffee every day. Oh, hey, what do you, oh, hey, what? I got a cabin maybe down the road or something. Would you want to look at it on the lake? I think it's got a broken, well, not a problem. We could take a look, and the thing is, you got to remember, like, a lot of this stuff, kind of when you're starting out, it's kind of like, it doesn't have to be, I'm saying, but a lot of stuff's kind of done for free. You spend a lot of time, but hey, college isn't free either. Go to college and spend $100,000 and come out and be like, what do I do? I need a job, and then go work at McDonald's and flip burgers, and go, well, I'm not really using my degree. I mean, it's really determination, hustle. There's a lot that goes into it. Lots of different hats. But good question. Just an old man now. Tony's got. Yeah, it's all good. Just an old man now. Must be for the doctor. That's good. They do. Tony is crazy. She's around. I remember when she could push herself backwards. Her nose, ears, butt, and mouth. Oh, wow. That's all good time. They do, man. They grow up cruising. See, Clopay website for pricing. I can quote any door in 2 minutes. Makes time and driveway way less. Ooh, that's not bad. That's not bad. I mean, it's like, I don't know how I would like, I don't know how they do that. Like, I don't know if like Clopay, you're just putting in like a percentage and it's automatically generating it, or you're sitting there and you're calculating it and all that. I've never had really like too good of luck doing that. I used to back in the day with one of my old service vehicles. I used to, I used to have a, like the police, I used to have the police stand in there with a laptop, and I had an inverter in there, and I used to have a printer in there so I could print out, because I was just, back then, I didn't have the secretary and stuff. I mean, I was so busy that I just like, kind of like Rusty. I just needed to like get this thing out. Boom, get this thing out, and it was like, you want it or don't you? You know what I mean? And just move on to the next. That was when we did a lot of, like, I mean, we show up for anything. We didn't have pictures. Nothing. Do. I think they're called Tex 5 screws. They go through red steel like butter. Ooh. 8-foot doors are 5. Oh, sweet. Gotta love them. Gotta love them, Rich B. Gotta love them. I like me some 5 sections. What's up, Kevin? Thanks for the information, Kevin, on the opener. I was looking at it pretty hard. I was kind of going back and forth. I was like, which one? Which one on that opener for that 8-foot? And then I came across Home Depot, and I was like Home Depot looks like it has a better option. I think it's Sam. Is it Sam Squires or something like that out there? He's got a red truck for his Icon. I haven't talked to him. I don't think he likes me anymore. I think because he loves those LiftMaster, man. He's a big LiftMaster fanboy. And I actually seen it because I actually watched that was a pretty good video. That I learned something from that one. Who is it? Is it the Garage Door Genius or something like that? The guy he's kind of scruffy like me, you know what I mean? He's got the beard and everything. Glasses. I think he's got glasses. Cool dude. He had that video about that thing clicking. And I was just like, man, I'm going to keep an eye out for that. That LiftMaster with the power issue. I was like, dude, that sucks. I was like, you tore down another opener and you put up another one. I was like, I'd be so like, son of a biscuit. What do I do now? And 3 struts? Holy moly. How do they do it? How do they make any money? That's weird. And the water up there. Oh man. Developers. Was it TGH? What's up, mister? Best advice you can give someone to moving into their own truck. Ooh, been into the industry a year. A bit as a helper and moving into a company truck. Work mostly commercial. To moving into their own truck. Ooh, I don't know. Maybe the guy's got some comments on this. I don't know. Moving into your own truck. I mean, like basically kind of like doing your own business and stuff like that. Just make sure. I mean, more money the better. If you got a stash of, a lot of times like I was I've been trying to like prime Mr. Caleb and stuff like. I think we can, we're a consumer nation, right? We're a consumer and debt nation. That's how we all are. You know what I mean? And it's so hard when you got, the cell phones and you got TV and you got all this advertising. And if you don't look like the Jones, next door, you're failing. And, you got to get the new truck, and you got to, there's a lot of stuff that goes out there. And I told him, I said, you have, more freedom right now than you ever will. You know what I mean? And I said, but everything you bring into your life, a snowmobile, a wave runner, a dirt bike, those things require attention. Everything. If you if you if you have a child, if you have a dog, it you have to take care of it. You have to go out and pick up the crap in the yard. You have to, you have to feed the thing. There's going to be a vet bill. There's going to be, it got hurt. That's sick. There's all these things. So, if you have a pile of money, that's good. And you have another source of income, those always work good. But if you can start doing it, whatever on after hours or weekends, people normally will wait certain things like, like Mr. Kale. I was kind of getting after him today. I said, you need to be, you need to have the discipline that I said you either in the morning, you change the voicemail. How bad do you want it? How bad do you want it? You know what I mean? Like if you want that, then you need to get up and change your voicemail. Change your voicemail. Say, hi, this is Dave with Affordable Lower Gate. Today is Tuesday. I will be in the office from 8 to 5. If you'd like, please leave a message after the beep, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. If you'd like a faster response, you can also text me at 231, blah, 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 right? So you just got to be disciplined. That's the hardest thing. We all have bad habits. We just have to change our habits and stay motivated and just keep hustling and try to make that baby money. I was just telling my office manager today, I probably 4 hours or more of windshield time today, and at one point, I remember the last 10 miles. Oh man, isn't that funny? I've been there so many times. You're like driving, I'll say, whoa, like how did I even get here? That pass out? Like I blacked out. You're just sitting there thinking about whatever, that's easy to do. Today was a drifter for me. I don't know what happened, man. I was getting zonky. I was over there, like started yawning. I got Caleb yawning. I'm like, how'd you sleep? He's like, I slept great. And I'm just like, I must have not slept great. I was like, man, what's going on? Ask questions if you're not sure. Don't rush. And tighten all bolts. Take photos before taking it apart. Maybe I missed it. I don't know. Rusty, is it true if you don't use... it's true if you don't use it, you lose it. I use it all the time. Tanner's got asking for a friend. Oh, man. Or 2, evaluate situations, start formulating a plan before you rush into and start tearing into things. I must have been in for a truck, like a real truck. I must have missed it. Thank goodness you guys are here. Thank you so much. 2 restaurants, let's save. Take a minute to balance situation, formulate a plan before you rush and start tearing into things. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. What's up? How are you? Doing good? I can't pronounce it. I just DHA. I'll say. I'll butcher it. Just keep coming to the channel between all of us. You'll know. And a few live feeds. Yeah, no kidding. What's Tony got? Tony in the recliner, man. Do you live in the dream? Tony, I want to come down here not too much longer. I want to get my hands on an Evictador. Like the time when Ideal sold RDP 38 to Clopay. Oh, it went to shit. That does not surprise me. South America. Oh, Brazil. Wow. What's up, DA? Hope you're doing good. Hope everything's good over in your neck of the woods. To be honest, I learned the most just jumping into the deep end. Yep, that's it, man. Sometimes you just gotta go. You know what I mean? How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. You know, that's the best thing you can do. It really is. Just get your feet wet, man. Just get in there and just start swinging, man. Company about 16 years, doing mostly commercial, but basic and more, but learned the most when I went out on my own. Ooh, just worked on a 32-foot door today. Oh my gosh, had to change cables. Bet those are big cables, the size of your pinky. Had a float, 8 springs, took a lot of bars. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Yeah, you got yourself a Surewinder? Tony's selling them. He's got a special. He hoards them. I'm back. What's up, Freeze? Did you get a little dinner or something? How are you? Is it Mandeep? Mandeep? Doing good. Hope you're doing good. But owning your own is not for everyone. Ask Dave. Yes, it's all right, that's right. It's good to be king, but the crown is heavy. I will never forget my other business buddy, that he ran a small, he runs, well, he don't run small, he does these kind of doors for big commercials, does a huge place. And I always remember him telling me, I was kind of stressing out big time. And I was like, dude, like, how do you how do you like personal and life and how do you, and he's like, you know, Dave, he goes, I got a work phone. He goes, and the work phone stays right in the work van. He says, it doesn't go in the house. He said, I put it right there, put it on the charger, does not come into the house. And then I always remember him kind of telling me, you know, that, you know, it's good to be king, but the crown is heavy. And I thought, wow, I thought that has a lot of weight to it. You know what I mean? Like, it sure does, man. It's like, you know, you know, I remember years ago, like I said, I've talked about it before, you know, seen this guy and he ran a big decking company and he always went on these exotic, hunting trips. And and he'd be at the weddings and we were at a family event. He's on the phone walking outside and he's all doing all these, and I'm like, I want to be just like him. Dude, I want people to call me like every day, and then it happened and it was like, this is not so cool because like, I remember there was a point where it really hit me. And I remember it was, I got to a point and I went, damn, I said, I mean, it's almost like it ain't her fault, right? It come down to like, almost like the wife, everybody. It's like, if the phone rang, it'd be like, I got a problem. And sometimes you can only take so much. I mean, that stuff starts stacking and starts stacking real high. And it's like like there was times I just wanted to like, people, hey, I got a problem. Like, you got a problem? Yeah, I got a truck right now. It's got a flat tire. I got another truck that needs a set of tires. I got another truck actually that needs a set of brakes right now. I got a scissor lift that just blew a hydraulic line and the customer's PO'd because it's all over a brand new concrete floor. Yeah, you got problems. I got problems. And by the way, you haven't paid your bill yet, so don't even call me. So, what I installed and Horman door myself. Wow, dude, you need to send me some pictures. Put it up at the, maybe I can share it to the community. Do it at the daveadubson@gmail.com. I put it in the description below, and it'd be cool to see it. But good job. Was it? Does Horman even make? They make non-insulated doors. I just don't know what the rib profile looks like. They got that weird rib on their insulated doors. Who works on big doors? He says, we work on 30 plus doors all the time. Just quoted 2 today. I was just thinking about you today, Tanner. I was lifting up the spring. I did like my little workout with it. I was like, oh yeah. I was like, and I was like, man, I was like, I don't know how Tanner does big doors all the time. I was like, oh, screw it. I threw it up on the lift, And I was like, I'm glad we're just doing little dock doors today. I'm a baby. Now tear it all and get yourself a better door. Depends on where he's at. Like I said, I mean, was it Sean over there in the UK? He says Horman must be a different animal. He says they're way better than what I've showed him. Have to go back tomorrow for a bottom section change. Yeah, the company we work for is all commercial, so we have some big boys. Oh man, and that's where I definitely want to learn more. He says, oh, got another Canadian. Nice. Got Evans over there. Evan wasn't in the house tonight, I don't think. It's funny, man. I seen a dude. He was moving equipment. He's a renter, or not, for like rental equipment. A dude with he was built, man. I wanted to go up to him. I didn't want to be like, I don't want to be like gay, but I want to be like, dude, like you're built like a tank, It's like I work with Josh down in Indiana, man. He's the same thing, man. Just freaking bulked. I'm like, no wonder he climbs up and down these ladders. I'm like, get me a damn scissor lift. I'm dying here. I know Cap, he just did one. I think that was, I know it's not as big as your guys', but I think that was 23 foot wide, something like that. And he was nervous because it was all glass sections. And he's like, how do I clamp this up? And he's like, I know I can, and I'm like, I take ratchet straps. I was like, take come-alongs. I was like, do vice grips. I mean, you can do C-clamps. You can, I don't know. I said, you can put bottom fixtures on. I said, but it's going to make it look like Swiss cheese. I said, on the next section up, and then run cables up. And I'm like, and I thought, don't do it. Don't do it. I was going to say, just do it up in the air. You know what I mean? When it's back in the track. And I thought, no, that's got to be dangerous as hell. I thought, glass over your head. I went, I'm not even going to say that. But I thought, I would entertain it. I would. We did a sprocket change on 1-horse Liftmaster this morning, because a 20x14 needed tension for a couple years. This is a big, as they come in my area, semi-garage 20x14. Yeah, I think the biggest we got right now is that 20 roughly by 20x16. So that's pretty big for our area too. I thought Horman doors were good. We work on some big rubber Horman doors. I didn't know Horman even made rubber roll doors. Oh boy, another Canadian. He says, Evan, are you there? Here to hang out with TGH? He says, that's where the fun is at. Heck yeah. Why do you think Horman is bad? I'm over here in good Iowa. We're in Canada. Yeah, I don't know quite. They got the province, so they're kind of different. They don't really kind of do the stuff like the states. What's it say? Just installed repaired them. We are actually a dealer for them. They are trash, much better doors out there. We use cheap jobs for low budget, spec build or apartment complex. Caught you. What brand of 30-foot door are you working on? Oh yeah. Are you talking about the garage door geek or garage door genius? The garage door genius, I think, is what it was. Wayne Dalton door. Holy shnikes. Wayne Dalton makes that big, and you trust them? I wonder what their strut system is on those. If they're using like the Z strut, or they're using like a I don't know what they call it, like a strap cable type thing. It was at a FedEx. Wow, without cheese, or burger without beef. Ooh, I don't know. Is it you too safe? But we work on a lot of different doors. Dang, do docks as well. Wow. Hey, if you ever get bored, like I said, TGH, if you ever want, send me some pictures. If you work on the docks, it'd be kind of cool to see what kind of trucks you guys got if you're doing doors and docks, because those are kind of a little bit in my, you got to have big boy trucks typically for that. They've always wanted us to work on docks, and I just don't like the coffins. I just, I've had too many forklifts and idiots hit them and about knock them down and all that kind of stuff, even though they're roped off and coned off and taped off. They just do all kinds of weird stuff, Do-do. Paid by the hour, by the job. By the hour for the company, but some companies offer purse rate or piece rate too. Definitely seems like the more commercial is always hourly. I've seen more piece rate, in the residential, at least in in Arizona and other places, what I hear around for installs and stuff. You get raised when you go in your own truck. Yeah, well, not what I want, but I just want the experience. There's a couple union door companies too. Mine isn't though. Yeah, I don't know if that'd be better or not to be with a union, What is prevailing wages there are for door guys? For long-term tech, 36.42. My opinion, union is garbage. Too much safety, too much crap. But that's my opinion. Yeah, I kind of agree a little bit. Maybe with they're on kind of different worlds. You know what I mean? Even my family member, he was a sheet metal. And they just, I don't know, they just got some kind of weird personality to them, like the world owes them something. It's like it almost like holds them back. You know what I mean? I don't know. CDN, you're not everyone for sure. He says, I just want to get at it and work. But the pay varies a lot. You have to jump companies here to get that you want for the area, and at least Toronto. Huh. Yeah, that's good information. It says, what does it say? Yeah, Wayne Dalton is not the greatest. Not my first, but we use North Central and Haas. Whoops. Mostly. Probably. Quarter cables. Yep, he says quarter on there. I have a pitch. Let me post it. I don't think, well, obviously you can't post it on, as far as I know, you can't. I wish I could post pictures on the old YouTube. You'd have to either, if you want, I could always share them on the channel. You could always send them to me at the Daveadubson at Gmail. It's in the description below. You can do that, or most of my videos. You can either send it to that, my email. I'm racing a city of my city listening to you. Multitasker, man. Tony is a multitasker. Gotta love him. Drop a V8 in the van soon. I'm going to drop a V8 in that van soon, Tony. Oh, man. Shoot. Charles, what's up? Howdy, y'all. Does anyone here have a LiftMaster receiver? I don't think so. 36 or 365 LM. What you need it for, Eric? Can you find them online or whatever? Yo, eBay. Send you a picture of that door, Dave. All right. You had another. Oh, that's right. We did. The Canadians taking over. That's all right. It's good information. It's nice to see what they got going over there. Possibly Eric. Thought I seen some. We save receivers from time to time. Might have new one with dust on it in the shop. Suction cups work good to put full view glass. Oh, you get them on Amazon, made just for glass. Oh, that's interesting. That's a good way to move them around. You know what I mean? That's kind of nice. He was just obviously he was going to drop the cables, and then the sections, all the rest of the sections. He was like how are those not gonna? And I'm like, You know, I've done it before. I've cheated, you know, when you just do a few rollers and then they bend the rollers. That sucks. Look into door length. They have industrial doors up to 28 too. 24 high. Damn. Didn't know they had that. That ordered a 36 by 16 full vert. Whoa. Wow. I have a customer that ordered. So is that like that's, I'm assuming, a sold deal? Like they're for sure doing it? Or you already installed it? I have seen them, not bad, but not big enough to carry better door prices through other dealerships. Need to have 30 plus. 30 plus doors. North Central has 40. Oh, what door does a door that big cost? Yeah, that is a big one. Was the customer ordered a full? That is a big boy. That is a big boy. Good question, Rusty. Yeah, that was Be Nice Tanner with both my Sears. Ooh, those cool looking Sears ones. Those are sweet looking. Only got one receiver and 2 doors. I think I might tear down one of my Sears and install. Okay, 315, so I can use my, what does that say, code pad. That's thinking code pad, man. I love it. I just love it. I love it. The code pad. You mean the keypad? The code pad. It's like pop and soda. Multi-code won't work on Sears because Sears is a 3-wire. That's interesting. It's a 3-wire. I thought, I mean, it won't. They got the three terminals or whatever. I mean, you'd have to wire them on, but been there, done that. We're not enough going to lie. It's a bit tense putting in those big, man, he says, fun. Same time, they would need double-decker springs. Ooh. Or would imagine. Sheet metal stuff is the Kool-Aid. Ah, man. One of my family members, like I said, he always had the do-rag on, you know, and he just always, it's like he's got like always like the puffy chest, you know. And I remember like we were selling our house right next to him, and I remember he was like, "You'll never get that. You'll never get that price." And it's like, I don't know, man. I mean, I don't know until you try. And we actually got over that price, so it was like, yeah, like just, you know. And it's kind of weird because like his dad was it, but his dad was like a real badass. You know what I mean? You know, he was the. You ever have those family members that just those kind of that badass, you know, kind of the hairy chest, always have a beer in their hand, and they just like never stopped. Like every time you see them, they're either like building a deck, they're building a you know, a dock or something, or they're building a roof, or they're building walls, or they're doing siding. I mean, just the jack of all trades. You know what I mean? And then the offspring just seemed kind of like, wah, you know, like like the world owes me something, and that's kind of how he was. You know, he's yeah. Eric, you can maybe look into Sears opener. You might be able to frequency, like in Chamberlain and Liftmaster. Have a receiver inside. It's from 1974. Some good old times. The guy, the electrician today, man, he had the good music playing. He had the good music playing. I was thinking about it because who commented? Was it Rich or something? Somebody was Rich, you know, it's from 60s and 90s. And I was like, this dude's got, even Caleb's like, he goes, man, he goes, this is why I like working with blue collared. He says these guys, you know, he's like, could you imagine like working in a body shop and the dude's like playing gangster music? And I'm like, Yeah, I guess I'd probably, that'd probably get old. And he's like, this is actually some good stuff. And I'm like, I agree. Uh, that old girl, he says, I'll check in the morning, see if we have one. Perfect. Send you a pitch of the door. I want to get a sure winder. Ooh, we should. But I don't think it'd work on the springs. Oh no, they work on the springs. You got to talk to Papa Tony. They do everything. They brush your teeth. They wipe your hiney. They take you on hunting trips. They get you girls. I mean, it does everything. For around 32, cost me over. Dang, 32. Holy cow. Yeah, well, I guess costs over. I want some. I know some days I want some Kool-Aid too. Just put me back in the Matrix. Sounds like Uncle Max. Sure will work. I have not had a spring it would not work on. But you obviously got to go with the brute winder for big stuff, right? Let's just make sure he's clear on that, right? The sure winder is kind of for smaller stuff, residential-ish. I don't know exactly what it goes up to. You got to do your homework. But the brute winder will wind anything. At least the big commercial stuff. Find a certain point. Beats winding the whole thing. I have two. I know. I'm hoping I can use the spring turner tomorrow. This ain't nothing. These are only whatever. 2 3/4 something springs or whatever. They're not nothing grand, but I'm gonna see because it's gonna be tight. But I kind of forgot commercial bars, and then I also was just like I looked at it and I went, I really don't want to wind that. I thought I got a spring turner, not as cool as a sure winder, but. It's a great tool. Sorry, wrong number. He said I quoted the 30. Okay, so over 47 cost. Over 25 grand. How many guys do you need to install it? Is there an opener too? Do you schedule a few days for it? A few days? That's like a freaking week. I don't know. Probably. Playing some George Strait. All right. George Strait's pretty good too. I like him. Other day, got a comment from some guy walking his dog in the alleyway. That's cool. Company to pay. Gotta convince them to pay for that. Tell them what's your shoulder. There's a full for 3 guys minimum. Oh yeah, dude, that's a 2-day all day. Not 1 point. We just round it up, right? We're getting rid of the penny. Just round it up. So 36, he says. What are some good, especially tools? Low 20-point socket set, screws, little tools. Little tools you've welded. Wilberg dual spring line, inside, outside, hookup. Wow. 6 pair springs. Wishka. Some big boys. I want to use a sure winder so bad. Go replace some springs with Tony. Oh man, once you touch it, you'll be hooked. You'll be hooked. Hey, we got another Canadian. Evan's in the house. Yeah, so roughly 12 hours per guy total, maybe 14 depending on cooperation or just things that have helped you. I got a chain puller recently and that helps for stubborn chains. Oh yeah, there's all kinds of little stuff. I mean, you can always, like I said, if you ever come across, you can always email me or, like I said, subscribe, all that good stuff. Stay part of the live. The guys, if you come on questions or something like that, the guys got all kinds of great stuff. They really help out a lot. I mean, better late than never. That's right. At least you're here, you're kicking, you're alive. Ooh, Rusty. That's a good one. The bearing blaster. I thought I was going to use the bearing blaster today on a brand new door because the way Wayne Dalton has these weird like brackets, they're not like the normal top plates. And I was like, we were just in that situation where I didn't want to take the brackets off the way they had them mounted. And I thought, I'm just going to blow the bearing out. And then that shaft, it'll be nice and big. It'll fit. We can get in there, swoop our shaft in. And luckily, we didn't need it. We made it work, but we had to really tweak the track a little bit to get it in. But they work great for, man, I wish I would have had that bearing blaster, for years ago, especially for like doing residential and just that weird commercial. Because you know how it is, you get those brackets and you're like, you like look at the other guy, you're like, do we got these at the shop? Hell, I've never seen those. It's like it needs a bearing. And then you're out there just whacking on it, and it's like you take it off and you put it on a vise and you whack the other one in, you hit it wrong, and now you're like doing like the finger test on it. You're like, it's okay. It's better than the other one at least, right? What brand? Ooh, Midland. Dang. Didn't realize Midland made almost big. Duh. Yeah, the bearing blaster is fire. Heck yeah. So Eric? It's the. Ooh, yeah. Rich B says it's the cat's meow. That thing is just so nice. Man, it works nice. Not bad. Have you guys had problems with the black door bubbling? Ooh. Must be for Wilbur. What says we use dock, stand, and slam. Slam it in. Yeah, you gotta get that bearing. That is worth every penny. No worries, Dave. So think you cool enough, though. He says you have a spring, a spring turner. I know. What did I do? Why did I go the different route? I've been punished. No 12-point throw. He says how he says you get yourself an 8-point. Much better. They actually square. It says, and don't strip out as easy. Is better for the set screws. I use 3/8 8-point sockets for set screws. Yeah, I think that's what I use. They're kind of weird to find, I think, whatever that one. I have to like normally find them like in eBay or something. I thought, I don't know if anybody, I thought Service Springs sold actually square. It's their pictures suck. On their, like they need to show the end. Like, okay, here's the 3/8 and here's, the quarter or whatever. But I always thought, I'll just get one of those. Like that'd be really nice. But I just never trust it. I'm like, I don't want to order it. And then why do I feel like I was gonna order it? I feel like I was gonna try it out. Like I feel like I did order it. And that maybe this never came, I don't know. So what I'm hearing is I need a bearing blaster. Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't hurt. I would think though the cable, in my opinion, for cousin Evan, I would think the cable maker, the thing I've showed you before, the kit. I think I'd rather have that before the bearing blaster. Because you got to be able to make cables. That's the big thing. You know what I mean? There's nothing worse than you got to, go somewhere and get cables made. You got to get a couple rolls of cable. You got to have the swedges. You got to have, I like the tool. I know Papa Tony, I think he's hammers them. I've never had really good luck. I'm just not that skilled. And I don't trust them. I like the swedger. So, but I like it all being in a kit. I love that, I think Service Springs got the best one for the most part. They have the kit where it's just all there. You just grab it and you go. There's an install happening tomorrow with some Midland commercials, but they said they don't need me. I hope they don't call me tomorrow. He says, barbecue with a friend tomorrow. Ooh, dang, sounds good. Where was the invite? Oh yeah, every day. Oh yeah, every day, 8-point all the way. Oh man, that's cool. Oh man. Damn, okay, says I'll grab one. Most of the guys at the shop have said 12. I don't even think I know what the 12. What the hell is the one I got? I think mine's an 8. That I bought there was Craftsman had ones that were for squares. You know, they're like real slotted, like square looking inside, you know, and then I used to carry those around because those were good for wood doors. Um, and then I don't really see them anymore. I don't ever see them like, you know, even I think, you know, Lowe's is taking over Sears stuff, but I don't know. I don't see them. I thought I looked for them too. And well, they weren't real prevalent. Like I could find them like, oh, there's tons of them. Here's, you know, get Amazon, eBay, just order them from this guy. So I don't know. A point, a must, really handy, and wood doors with all the square hardware. I don't know. I'm about ready to go grab mine. Look at them. You guys got me wondering now. I think I got them with me. I don't know what they're missing. He says, need to order them. They are kind of hard to find. See? Ooh, shallow or deep. So for me, I always ran shallow and deep sockets because if you had a wood door, if you're doing residential, I guess they could be on some commercial too, some wood doors, you know, that they always have that little nut or the bolt always sticks a little far, so it wouldn't get in far enough for me. Did you ever buy that service wrench I showed you? Actually, I still have it. I just haven't attached it. I got it sitting on my microwave. We talking for the propane tank or whatever, for cutting the torches? What's this AI force? What is it? Force wrench? Ratchet? What you got there? Dental door stuff has them online. Most are shallow, but they are a deep shallow. Oh, okay, so that's good. It says if that makes sense. Gosh, you guys keep talking about sockets. Let me go take a look. Got you wondering now. I'll show you kind of what I semi-carry. Oh, it's gonna be dark. I don't think I got a flash. Oh, I got my gear on? Yeah, I got my work gear on. Let's see what the old goodie bag has in her. Oh, I left it at the job site. I left it at the job site so I don't have to huff it in if it was raining. Sorry. Probably 8. It's probably 8 for the squares, and then it's probably what do you call it? You got the Craftsmans. I haven't used those in quite a long time. I just don't really. Well, I guess I'm not in the field as much anymore. But I don't see too many wood doors. Of course, I can't say that. But those ones are. I don't see the wood doors anymore with the squares. The squares, a lot of times on the track, they always have the square heads. I think we're starting to get out of that phase. It's kind of like we don't come across a lot of fiberglass doors anymore. Those are starting to pretty much phase out, you know. Rusty says, I hammer every cable with no problem. 25 years? Wow. No problems, huh? I had one come off one time and I said, nope. I said, I'm done. And I think it's, if you yourself, nice battery ratchet. I think the thing is too, is like, you have to have like, you know, well, my opinion, when you have employees, everything has to be synchronized. So like one thing I always remember is when we were doing fencing, I had a dispute between a couple employees. I remember they came into the office and they were like, well, I did that 100-foot run in half the day. It took you all day. I mean, they were just like going at it. And I'm like, okay, guys, like, stop. And well, one guy leaves and it turns in, it's like, why he got it done in half the time. He's like, go look at his ties. He's like, he didn't tie them good. I'm like, okay. And it was for a cemetery and there was 2 different sides of the fence. So I went out there, drove out there, and I was taking a look and I could tell, I was like, yeah, this is pretty kind of sloppy. Like this real hard winds, this stuff's probably gonna come loose. So that's when I went to those 1 clamps. They have the screw. solved all the problems. You know what I mean? The stuff will never come off. The fence will have to fail before those clamps, and it's synchronized where it's like you got a screw gun. So it's just something you got to always, like I said, if you're in a pinch, but it's like, I don't know. Like I said, it's kind of it's like I still think about like the guys hand banging, and I just still can't I just can't. That last one, I think that video come out yet? I don't think that video's came out where the head, the coating came off, and I just thought, I was like, this hand bang is for the birds, man. I was like, in my mind, my opinion, right? I was just sitting there, and I'm thinking, I'm like, these guys are for speed and for money and for efficiency. I was like, you can't, that's like building a house, like who builds a house anymore, hand bangs them, nobody, everybody uses a framing nailer. And I was like, the hell with this, I feel like I'm gonna scratch the door. I just, I just feel so much more comfortable with the nailer. I have zero problems anymore since I put, adequate nails in. And you don't put it tight, when I used to cheat, when you get that little flop to it, I'd be like, it's okay. Like it flops up there. It looks good. The door heats up or whatever. The sun starts hitting, that weather seal pops off, no good. But, I just thought, man, I just was not impressed. But that's, everybody's got their own, like I said, it's just like wine and springs, hey, whatever's safe for you, whatever works for you, that's how I look at it. Like, as long as it gets the job done, that's the big one, right? If you ever get yourself a nice battery ratchet wrench, it makes setting screws and draws much more enjoyable. Ooh. I don't know. You might have to send me a picture sometime of that, Tanner. Which one you're using, brand-wise or something. That kind of scares me. I feel like I'd get the wrong one. And I got a question. Has anybody experienced this or have anybody tested this? I was talking to Mr. Caleb about it today. And I thought this is kind of a good selling point for Milwaukee. Mr. Rich B, I got to give credit where credit's due. He showed me this video. This guy had DeWalt tools, right? DeWalt power tools. And this particular contractor was saying why they don't use DeWalt power tools anymore, because basically when they go bad, they just sit in a pile in the corner of the building, and that's just where they go to die. Supposedly, with Milwaukee, now I haven't tested it. I should have, because I had a darn grinder that blew up on me, and that would have been a perfect one that smoked on me. But supposedly with Milwaukee, you can send it in. From how I understand it, does not matter its age. It could be 20 years old. You can send it in. Milwaukee will either fix it or they'll replace it. And I was telling Mr. Caleb about it, and he's like, man, that's pretty cool if they do. And he goes, I don't think that's something they probably advertise, though. And I said, I didn't even know it existed. I said, I don't know if it even does exist. So I guess I'm kind of asking anybody out in the audience, have you experienced it? Have you done it? Did you even know about it? And like I said, once I have something, because today he was heating up the drill pretty good, the impact. I grabbed hold of it to do the spring pad, and I was like, man, you got this thing smoking, because he's pushing on the, he's holding the end so it's not breathing. And I was like, he smoked my grinder. I was like, smoke my impact. And I was like, they're pretty old. So I kept thinking, but this one dies. This might be the one. I have no clue exactly how you send it in. I'm sure maybe I don't know. I don't know how you send it in. You just send it in, send an address. I don't know. Still looking for a cable kit Tanner sent me. Oh, doesn't ship to Canada. Son of a biscuit. Son of a biscuit. Well, that's why I was kind of asking you too, Evan. Like I said, if you want, you're more welcome. I don't know if you guys do, I don't know how you do it exactly, but it's Cash App or Venmo or something of that nature. That's why I was kind of like, I'm assuming, I don't know for sure, Service Springwell, but like I said, that's why I was just kind of like, hey, if you wanted to send me the money, I'd gladly, obviously, purchase it, and I can either, whatever, we can do shipping or something on it. But I don't know, it might be ridiculous. I want to look at the schedule. It's just blunk in front of my eyes. 27th, right? Scale. Man, they always got something over there. Indicative. Science. Oof, I see another turnstile. Oh. Oh, see, Tanner's already right there with me. Bend me and I'll mail you one. There you go. That's what I was thinking. Oh, TGH says no Venmo in Canada. Mother fudgers. They always take the good stuff, right? They shut it down probably when the truckers were protesting. Tanner, do Americans do e-transfer? Venmo isn't a thing. E-transfer. I don't know really about that. Tanner's got freaking Canada. I know, that's what I was thinking. I was like, hey, just do Cash App or like Venmo. I mean, I guess you could probably always do. Dude, I can't believe how restricted Canada is. Is it really that bad? I mean, aren't you working on your EIN number? I mean, can you even will Silver Spring even like send stuff up there, Evan? Do you know even if that exists? I just can't believe it's that hard. I just kind of drives me nuts. Eric's got, how about Cash App? PayPal. I think PayPal charges some fees. That kind of sucks because this thing kind of expensive. And then I know I'm a little bit concerned. What the hell's what is shipping cost? You know what I mean? It's $600 for the kit or something. And it's $1,200 to ship it, and you're like, wow, that's a lot. The best for the e-transfer is only Canadian. I'm pretty sure. PayPal works. We can do PayPal. Yes, it will work. One. The set screws. Two. Oh, hear it? Don't know what it is. Somebody's not having a good day. Let's see if I can see it. What is it? What is it? What is it? Oh, man, that's Holland. That's State Trooper. Till they got the, I don't know if you guys ever see, what's that one thing out there? State Boys. I always know, man, West Michigan. I mean, Michigan, I think, is the only one. The state troopers have that stop sign in the hood, man, and that thing comes barreling down. It's like, oh, they mean business. Yes, it will work. One says, can I see the link for those cable kits? See the link. Don't really know how you link it. I mean, I guess you could. I mean, I could show you kind of a picture, because this is who we use. Like I said, for Service Spring. I don't know if Canada, if Service Spring will ship to old Canada. But it's this guy right here, the Swedge kit. Look at that baby. It's a beaut. It's got that already in it. It's got cable cutters. It's beautiful. It's got all your swedges in there. It's a very nice system. I love it. It's so worth the money to me. I mean, it's expensive. It says 508 on here. But man, does it work nice. Zoom camera. Why not? You're going to be like that, huh? It's a nice kit. It's a really nice kit. Keeps everything organized, especially if you're running out of not like a fully, I mean, you can, I used to make my own. They're cheaper. I used to buy like the bins at Home Depot or Lowe's, and, I had all my little, but this thing is just so much more identifiable to me, where you can flip it up and it's like, damn, I'm getting low. I better order some more. And I think they might even still put the part numbers or something in there. I don't know. It just makes it so much easier. It's just, because you know how it is. Like when it's time to reorder, you're always kind of like, is it this one? Is it that size? Is it that one? At least I always struggle. Maybe it's inside the truck. Oh, the bag? No. I know I pulled it out. I lifted it into the tool, the on-site tool chest, because I told myself if tomorrow rains, I didn't want to have to squirrel everything away. So I said, hey, let's make sure everything stays in the. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys. So we're at the job site today.
And I realized there's brand new extension cords. And I mean, these are nice ones too, nice thick ones, you know. And I'm like, I told the electrician, I said, I said, hey man, I said, what's up with all these new extension cords? I said to the builder, because I didn't notice the builder having their guys there today. And he goes, oh, he goes, the extension cord? He goes, yeah, they had to buy all new. He goes, you didn't know? And I said, what? He goes, the place got robbed. I'm like, what? He goes, yeah, he goes, the place got robbed twice. And I said, no way. And first thing he said, he goes, yeah, he goes, whatever. You know, he says, druggies, whatever. He says, you know, he says, he goes, yeah, he goes, they broke into our trailer too. And I'm like, oh my gosh. I said, no. He goes, yeah, they took some Romax clamp or whatever cable. He's like, it's $1,000 a roll. And I'm like, and he's like, our little rolls of like wire that are, you know, I don't remember what they were, a couple $100 or something like that. Anything basically copper. And he's sitting there talking to me, right? And I got like a couple scissor lifts in my way. And all I kept thinking was like, oh my gosh. I didn't even look to see if our garage door openers are still there. And I'm like, as he's talking, I'm kind of like peeking. I can see one. I'm like, well, there should be, you know, should be four more. You know, I can see one. And luckily they were all there. So it was kind of one of those things. I was honestly thinking about it today. And I went over and I seen one of the boxes was opened. And so I was looking in there, and I also had to make sure a Romax clamp I had was going to fit, because I had to buy bigger ones than the 3/8. I had to buy like the 3/4 or whatever, because Genie does a little different on their boxes. I don't know why. But I was sitting there thinking about it, and I thought, wow. I went, this is kind of a good thing. You know, Genie boxes, they're commercial, are just so bland. You know what I mean? They're just, there's nothing to them. Where you get the LiftMaster, right? It's like, whoa, you perk up your chest, LiftMaster. Wow. They show, you know, they normally got nice colors on there, and they got their opener picture, and it's like, they show the model, and it's like very grand, you know, like, I'm bringing you a big quality opener, which they're good openers, you know, for the most part. And I thought, oh, whew. I went, thank goodness these just look like cardboard boxes. Like there's no flashiness to them, because I thought they probably yanked them. And I went, oh my gosh. I went, see, this is why sometimes commercial jobs, you know, and, you know, you leave more time. We haven't been there for 2 weeks because they weren't ready. But I guess they had two massive generators that were stolen. So of course today I was talking to the electrician, you know, about it and stuff. And he goes, I said, did they buy it? You know, I said, is that a new generator? Because there's no power at this place. They're running a generator, run the whole place with lights and stuff and power. And, you know, I think there's like 8 scissor lifts in there. And, he goes, yeah, no, he goes, he says, they brung their crappiest one. He says, that way, if it gets stolen, he goes, that one, he goes, you wish somebody would steal it. He said, you look at it, you know what I mean. And I said, it probably makes sense. I said, I can tell by the lights how they're flittering. And I said, he goes, yeah, he goes, it's not in balance. And, but I just went, oh my gosh. I went, they got ramsacked twice. And then he told me, he says, you know what the cops said? He said, when they were here, he goes, well, I guess since it happened twice now, we'll come down here and drive around, kind of patrol. And he's like, can you believe that? And I'm like, and he goes, you know, and he goes, I thought we're in a good area. He says, but I guess another county over, they come from there. The problem is there's railroad tracks that run behind the building. So we know what railroad tracks, and that's where stuff sits. But for them to break into the electrician's trailer, man, that was pretty. And I told him, I said, did any tools? He goes, nope. He goes, I don't leave any tools. He says, it's not been the first time. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. I'm like, I'm surprised they didn't take our toolbox or something. You know, I guess they're just going for stuff they can grab. You know what I mean? Like the copper wire. But whew, man, not good. Not good. I even have 8 point for Rainer's half. Ooh, set screws. Get my phone number from Dave. He says, I'll show you all the best tools. That's one thing. I don't mess around. It makes my job easier, better quality job. Tanner, I'm the exact same way. Yeah, like I said, just email me. I'll get you Tanners. I'll get you hooked up. By most of my 8 points. at pawn shops, huh? Usually they're China made. Haven't welded any yet. Was weld 3/8 socket, quarter drive, using 3/8 drive side for the set screws. Huh. None of the guys in my shop think that. He says, so it's refreshing to hear that. Oh yeah, dude, if you know, the tools can make your job so much easier if you got the right tool for the job. Yeah, they are all about making shit work with what they have. He says, I respect that, but I invest in what I the best to do the best. Yeah, that's how I've always been, you know. Might as well have the nicest tools, you know, you can make your job easier. It's a struggle out in the field as it is, you know what I mean? We work, we all do, you know what I mean? We work our tails off out in the field, so you want, you know, anything to make your job a little easier. Rough it. Yeah, it's good to rough it at the start. I definitely get your number from him. Perfect. Honest Dave, most tool brands sell their ratchet wrench, but Marshall does not make one yet. So just bought some cheap one for 60. I feel like I gotta see it though. Like, is it like what the voltage and stuff like that? Because aren't you like setting them down with them too and stuff? Or you kind of give them a couple oomph on them? I was gonna look up tonight. I gotta look up. I bought an M12. I really didn't know what I was buying. I bought a 90-degree screw gun, and the M12 is just not quite powerful enough. It's for, you know, when you got the bump stops in the way and you're trying to do the track, and it's a little bit on the weak side. It kind of gets it started. It gets a few ratchets on it, but it's just not. I feel like I'm gonna break it, you know. So I gotta see if they got the M18, you know, the Milwaukee, that maybe I can do that with. You know, I normally find a way to make them work, but I just thought about it today. Reverse gear wrenches. When they break, Napa replaces them. Napa does. Interesting. But they're junk since they're Chinese made. Now order off the Snap off. Isn't like Snap? You got to like go to. Don't you got to go Harbor Freight? That's what I always keep seeing. Like the whole Harbor Freight, and they'll show like a Harbor Freight and a Snap on, and they're basically look identical and stuff. I don't know. I'm always sometimes with certain tools. It just depends. Power tools, I don't screw around. I used to buy used, and I got screwed so many times. You buy them off eBay, you know, you save $60 or something. Those things I just don't screw around. Some of the hand tools, I don't really care. You know what I mean? Because sometimes I look at it, and I've been over the years. I lose the tool before I abuse or use up the tool, if that makes sense, or break it. So it's like, you know, certain things I'm just like, yeah, you know, whatever, man. Ratchet, you know what I mean? It busts the gears out. You know, I used to have really good luck with gear wrench for a lot of the hand wrenches. Something changed. This last set I bought, like, I mean, the things were, I mean, I wasn't even cranking on them hard, and it's like the whole mechanism fall right out, and I'm just like, what happened? I used to have really good luck with gear wrench, and so they kind of went downhill for me. So it's like, you know, in my brain, how it works now, I'm always just like, probably changed manufacturers and I didn't know about it or something, or, you know, somebody bought them out and they started putting cheaper, you know, they bought the name, you know, we could still sell this for another year or two under this name, and people will still keep buying them because they think they're such good, but we're making them cheaper. Works before I drop the 350 on a 3/8 battery ratchet. Ooh. So I have option to send money via their bank apps. They do, I think, a little bit, but it's like they don't want us. It's like they want to keep us against each other. It feels like, you know what I mean. They don't, you know. Toronto. Not sure of it. I just put in the garage door with my wife. It says, does anything money related? I just make it and spend it. Man, it's like, yeah, there you go. That's cool. Sup, Phil? What is that? Sounds like my ride is here. was in Toronto once on a layover. Didn't really get to see the sights or get robbed. Oh man. Here compared to you guys, I'm 26. Oh man, you got youth on your side. I'm 24, 25. Oh, Tanner, look at 62, whatever. He's aging faster now that he's an owner. Oh, man. Oh, nice. You got T on the company. Evans Tanner. I thought you were rest of the same age. 62 years ago. 39, man. Almost at big 40. Halfway through your life. Just kidding. He says, 33. 6 sometimes. Oh yeah. Ask Tony, man. Oh heck yeah. Heck no, Rusty is old man. I think I'm Tony's got his lick, but I think Rich B's next in line, then it's probably me. I think. I don't know. Well, maybe Wilbur. Heck no, really old man. Tony is 75, young, right? Young, let's see here. Younger than you? Wow. Work for yourself or establish door company. A company. Landlord, a few locations in Canada. Ooh, we do docks. The docks too. The smoke from fires next door. Oh man, Canada's got fires. I mean, my gosh, what's going on, man? They got to get rain and all that cold and all that snow, and they got to have damn fires. You know, it's like, who keeps starting all these fires? Might get back into them. He says, I don't know yet. He says, we just don't have anyone in 2-hour radius who works on them. Spent up high in the trusses. As a can talk for is that wildfire started early and stash. It's been so cold here still. So there are forest fire going on, and my state, TJ is to my east. We wildfire, pretty good. He says personally, but have you guys do you? No, I'm just kidding. Well, probably it's like we get the dust storms now. We got the wildfires. It's like I don't need to hear it in the news. You know, they'll tell us, you know, today's gonna be a cloudy day because of the wildfires. It's like, geez, a wheeze, man. It's clean nowadays. Cold beer on special occasions. Used to partake before trying out for the railroad. Kelly says it's got God bless frozen pizza. Yeah, some frozen pizza. Uh-oh, what do we got here? Hey, good for you. There is better things to spend money on. Ooh, like Milwaukee tools. That's right. Get yourself some Milwaukees. Not a big accomplishment for me. It's more wanted to fail the drug test when I would have been working on trains. Yeah, you can, I don't know, you can stay, you know. I mean, it was, for me, it was always, I used to, you know, I didn't want nothing to do with it because I used to work for the city. And then, you know, heck, I don't know how many years now, it's been a lot. You know, I could pretty much do anything. but nah, I'm good. You can see wire smoke in Seattle from California. Ooh, dang. Like every year. Oh my gosh. Just as long as I don't get the flying monkeys. Hey, what about the balloons, right? From China. Can't have those. That's why meth is better only stay in your system for a day. Oh, or too much better habit. Kidding, says don't. Just been told by less understanding members of society. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I know that we need the stimmy checks in the arms. We need some stimmy checks. That's what they need. Make inflation go up. We need some more inflation, don't we? All right, you guys. I think I'm gonna head out. I still got a lot. I gotta get cleaned up. I still gotta get a little bit of stuff together for tomorrow. You know, fun, right? So I'll be out there hustling, just like you guys, up in an old scissor lift. Hopefully it gets charged. Hopefully the generator. The electrician said the generator's been havoc on the scissor lifts for charging, so that's gonna be fun. Otherwise, over and out. Thank you guys for being here. Have a good one. Don't lose your fingers. Keep them attached. Don't put them where they don't belong. And if it happens, it happens. Just be happy you're still alive.